Hey friends, welcome to the Sugar Treatment where we bake and heal together. My name's Anthony, aka the Baking Social Worker. Today is all about Tiffany's Epiphany.
Yeah, Tiffany is actually my best friend from middle school, and I'm Sean, by the way. I'm Anthony's husband, just in case this is your first time tuning into the Sugar Treatment.
Thank you for being here.
Well, I live here.
You do. I appreciate you being here, though. Today we're also baking a very simple 2-ingredient shortbread cookie. We're gonna dip it in this delicious chocolate, because I really want the chocolate to shine.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, right?
It's very special chocolate.
It is very special chocolate, and I know Tiffany's gonna tell us all about it.
Yeah.
But also, Tiffany is from a blended family. And did you know that 40% of adults in the United States report being from a blended family, which means that they have a stepfather, stepchild.
I did not know that, but I am also from a blended family.
You are.
Interesting enough.
You are, yes.
I am part of that 40%.
You are. So why don't we go ahead and let Tiffany introduce herself, her family, and this delicious chocolate.
Can we try some of the chocolate
We
first?
better be able to try some of this chocolate.
I might have already tried a little bit.
Honey.
It's so good.
Okay, I want to do this one.
Hey Anthony, hey Sean. Thank you guys for having me on your show today. I'm really excited to be here. Hi everybody, my name is Tiffany Shafi. I am a nurse during the day and a chocolatier at night. My blended family consists of myself, my son Logan, who's 6 years old, soon to be 7 in June, and my sweet husband David, who's Logan's stepdad. The chocolate that you're about to eat, Anthony and Sean, is really unique. And the reason that this chocolate is so unique is because I make it from bean to bar. And I also import the beans from fair trade organic farmers who supply the beans for me directly. And I have, personal relationships with all of the farmers in different countries that I get the beans from. It's Brazil, Tanzania, Madagascar, Guatemala, and Bolivia. So the process is really, really fun. I get the cacao bean imported. So this is what the cacao bean looks like. So when I first get it sent to me, this is what it looks like. And it's really important to note that before you bake any cacao bean, you have to know what the flavor profile, the roasting profile is for the bean, and then they'll have time constraints on them. So in order to get the true flavor profile of the bean, you need to make sure that it's at the right temperature and for the right time. So what Tiffany's Epiphany does is we really pay attention to that. I used to not have a machine for this. When I first started chocolate, I used to do this by hand, which was hell. So what happens is the cacao bean actually cracks, and so you've got the shell that just kind of pops right off, and then all the shells go into a separate bin. And what we do is we use the nibs, and we'll take the nibs and we put it in a melanger, which is basically just like a big stone grinder. And we let it melange for 2 to 3 days. And the only ingredients that we add is cocoa butter, organic, unbleached. And then we use organic cane sugar. So for all you beautiful, wonderful vegans out there in the world, the chocolate is all vegan, except if you order the milk chocolate, that's not vegan. When you're eating Tiffany's Epiphany, you're really tasting the true flavor profiles of how chocolate was supposed to be enjoyed.
So we're just gonna add 1 cup of almond flour. And you know what we gotta do, #whiskin, get it real nice and fine. Now add maple syrup, a tablespoon at a time, until the mixture is a little bit clumpy. It should be about 2.5 tablespoons. And we're just gonna mix it up. Here's your clumpy mixture. Now go ahead and just pour it onto your parchment paper. Top it with some parchment paper. We rolled it out till it's about 1/8 inch thick. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut into rectangles. You can also use cookie cutters if you wanted to. So we're gonna bake these at 250 for about 25 to 30 minutes. We want them to be nice and firm on top, but not too golden. We don't want them to be burned. The cookies are in the oven.
Cookies are in the oven,
Yes.
and the chocolate is in my stomach.
It's so good.
It is so good, Tiffany. Can you believe that she gets these beans from around the world, like
No.
from different places?
She's global.
Like,
This is an international business woman.
why are you so cool?
You're the coolest. And I'm gonna be spending a lot of money on your chocolate.
Yeah, we're gonna be buying a lot of chocolate.
Can I get a discount? But no, it's a
Where's
friend's
that
company.
code?
It's a friend's
No,
company.
support local businesses.
We want to pay the full price.
Or local business, or startups. How does it support Tiffany's
Small business.
chocolate company?
Yeah, Tiffany's Epiphany. Okay, Tiffany, why don't you go ahead and tell us all about what it's like being from a blended family?
Yeah, so I would definitely say that, being in a blended family has its ups and downs, just like a non-blended family. I think for us, that kind of one of the themes has been, roles, role definitions and some power structure stuff. David is always checking in with me, and he's like, hey, Tiffany, so what's my role here in this situation? What can I, what's okay? And so, which I love that he does that. But so having that clarity around what those roles are and communication with each other is really important, and not just with your partner, but with your kids. Like what does that look like, and who has what kind of power? Anthony, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I want to point out that there's this weird, misplaced stigma around the word, blended family.
Okay.
She's throwing it back at you.
I know. I love that though. I have thoughts. I have opinions.
Yeah, you have opinions.
Yeah, I think the stigma, well actually why don't I let you talk about this for a second, because you also come from a blended family, and I'm curious, do you feel like you've experienced any kind of stigma because of the sort of structure of your family?
You want to talk about blended family, when my parents divorced, I grew up with a brother who has same mom, different dad. Mm-hmm. But he's always been my brother, always been in my household. Mm-hmm. My parents were together. My dad helped raise him. Mm-hmm. And then when my parents divorced, my dad married into another family where my stepmother had 5 children already, and then they had another.
Big family.
A lot of blending.
So you have a brother from the same mother, and then you have a brother from the same father.
And then I have other step brothers and sisters.
Yeah. So that's blended up.
It's blended.
That's blended.
It's blended.
To answer Tiffany's question, I guess, I understand why there would be a stigma, why folks might look at, a parent and go, your marriage didn't work out, oh, you have a child from 2 fathers. Somehow that puts you into a different category, you didn't meet some ridiculous, meaningless standard in society. Because people don't know your business. People don't know what you're going through. So I always my prerogative is it's F off. The cookies are almost done.
Yeah, literally they're about to go off any second.
So I want to make sure that we melt down our chocolate and go ahead and start dipping them.
So but first, start eating them.
I'm really curious, Tiffany, if you could tell us what are some of the difficulties that you've encountered in being in a blended family, and then what advice would you have for a parent or a child who is looking at moving into a blended family?
Yeah, so the difficulties of being in a blended family. So there's a few of them. I would say one of them is that Logan had this weird thing where he's like, so what do I call David? He didn't know if he should call him dad or stepdad or, David or banana hammock, whatever, And so we had to, talk to him and say, babe, call David whatever you want, and so again, this comes back to cultural and having that cultural humility. And I honor those that are listening that would say the opposite. But for our values and our culture, in our household, we don't believe that you have to say, stepdad or dad or, it's, David loves him and protects him and is there for him and supports him, and that's it. And that's all that Logan needs to know. And so that's gotten better. Logan still at times is a little confused about the roles, but sitting down your family and having those conversations is really important together. I'd say the other thing that's been really big is that, your kids don't mean to do this, but it's almost like Logan forgets that David is a part of the family. And I have to say that step parents, if you're watching this, God love you. You guys don't get enough credit for how freaking hard your jobs are. And I say that almost feeling emotional, just wanting to tear up saying that, because I see how difficult it is for my husband at times, because David is, of course I wouldn't have married him if he wasn't this, but he's the most patient, loving, kindest man. And he has no biological children of his own, and so. And yet it's like he was born to be a father. I would say too, if you're really struggling with this, again, I come back to, there is no blended family versus non-blended family, right? Like, family is family. And as we've all heard a million times, love is love. And it doesn't matter where the love comes from. It matters that you have love, And, what's been powerful for us is we do family nights. We have family traditions that we do where, every Saturday we'll do a Disney movie and I'll make something off Pinterest or something, or we'll have checkers nights, or every morning we wake up and say something that we're grateful for. All of us go around the table. Logan has a lot of extended family that come in and love him. His Uncle Sammy and his Auntie Renata and his Annie Pam, and he's got a lot of love. And so if you have an extended family for your kids, bringing those extended family helps too, to have them all be a part together, if you have a good process like that, because that really helps, Logan feel like your step parent is also a part of that family when you got the extended family involved as well. That's been super helpful for Logan, because Logan sees how much his Uncle Sammy loves David, his stepdad. He's able to see that dynamic, and so that really helps him. So if you have a wonderful partner who can just, loves you and is willing to stick it in there and loves your kid, then God, you're lucky. So I'd say, it's love. It's just love. Just love them, and throw out that idea of what, family is supposed to be, and just let it be what it is. And dance in the kitchen with your kids. Don't forget that. That's fun.
The point that she made about being a step parent and how hard it is,
yeah,
it's true, because here you are, this outside person trying to come in and cultivate this meaningful relationship with the child, right? And it's like, how do you do it? Can you discipline this kid? Are you allowed to say no? Like, are they gonna listen to you? Is there gonna be like a mutual respect? And so that, cultivating that, I think, is really difficult. And so I really like the piece of advice about just having moments that can create family.
Yeah.
Dancing in the kitchen. How beautiful is that?
I know, and it just comes down to love.
It does.
I love your chocolate. I don't know if you noticed, but I was literally scooping it with my finger, the leftovers, because I did not want to waste any of it.
We made a little bit of a mess, but we did do this cute little, spattering of chocolate all over these shortbread cookies. So why don't you go ahead and try them?
I think this is a great pairing.
It is a good pairing.
Because it lets the chocolate shine, and it's not overpowered by the cookie. Tiffany, we're going to be ordering a lot of your chocolate.
We're going to be ordering a lot of your chocolate.
Everyone gets chocolate. You get chocolate. You get chocolate. Family gets chocolate.
Everyone, get ready for the chocolate, because this is coming. These are delicious. I'm going to post the recipe to these shortbread cookies. And then we'll also post a link to Tiffany's Epiphany so that you can order. Does she do international?
Her chocolate is international, so.
It is. We're going to take you worldwide, honey. All right, thank you so much for tuning into the Sugar Treatment. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Like this video, comment below. Let me know what your blended family is like. Tell me about your experience, and tell me what you think about this delicious chocolate after you order your own.
Yes.
Right? Oh. Right?
Yes.
Was there more that you wanted to add to that?
There's not. I'm just thinking about how good the chocolate is, and I keep staring at this like I'm just waiting to eat it all when we're done.
You're going to eat all of these, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Keep it sweet.